What's up, guys? Nick Major here, APTV correspondent. I had a great chat with Andrew McMahon, who you all, of course, know from his mini projects like Jack's Mannequin and Something Corporate, out at his 7th annual Dear Jack Foundation fundraiser concert. We chatted about the event, his upcoming album, Zombies on Broadway, and how you can help save a life by coming out to one of his shows. So stay tuned to see what he had to say about all of that and a lot more.
But you're number one, you're the reason I'm still open door.
It's going to be a fun, exciting night tonight, I have a feeling.
I think so.
And this whole what's going on tonight kind of goes back to something pretty impactful that happened in your life.
Correct, yeah.
Back in 2005.
Yes. Well, I'm a leukemia survivor. I was diagnosed with leukemia in 2005, like you mentioned, back when I was just kind of starting out with my second band, Jack's Mannequin. And on the heels of sort of that recovery, I started the Dear Jack Foundation, which advocates and builds programs for adolescents and young adults facing cancer. So that's people ages 15 to 39 years of age who are sort of known as this forgotten demographic of cancer patients that has a lot of their needs overlooked and a lot of research that's necessary not being done on their behalf. They've seen the least improvement in their survival ratings in 30 years of any other demographic, and we're doing our best at the foundation to change that. This is it's our 10-year anniversary tonight, so we're pretty excited.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Yeah,
and you were talking about the demographic, the younger demographic, because people in that age group, I feel like they don't even ever consider something that could happen to them. I'm sure at your age you never thought that would happen to you.
That's right. Yeah.
So once that happened to you, it obviously opened up your eyes to the importance of being vocal about issues like this, because you did find it necessary not just to go to the treatment and then carry on with your life, but you realized, you know what, I want to expand off of this and help those. What was it about your experience with it that made you realize more people need to be made aware of this? Yeah, well, I think after going through it and like just realizing, I mean, the basic things, like as a 22-year-old facing cancer, you're being treated either on a pediatric floor with like a lot of kids, I mean, that are, as young as, babies, infants, and talk about a tricky place to be treated on a pediatric floor. Conversely, the other option is being treated on a floor where most of the people are probably 30, 40 years your senior. Mm-hmm. So your options are very limited, and there aren't a lot of people talking about how to connect you with other young people and how to sort of advance options for you and for your demographic specifically. And I think what I learned through going through it is that this is something that we need to talk about, and I'm happy to say that even in the 10 years since we started, there's been a lot of movement on this front, and a lot of hospitals are starting to recognize the AYA demographic and saying we do need to provide specific services for them, and there are a unique set of needs, both in the hospital and outside of the hospital into survivorship. In this past year alone, I mean, through the 100K challenge, which we just put on. Yeah, break that down for me, because I know that was a big success for you guys.
Yeah, we're wrapping that tonight. Our goal, we started, I want to say, in June or July of this past year, and the goal was to raise between then and tonight $100,000, and as of last night, we had gotten to 150. So,
wow, congrats! It's amazing.
Yeah, and that is completely separate from what tonight will make. I'm hoping that we walk away from tonight with hopefully somewhere between $50,000 and $75,000. So.
And so this is the event that's going on tonight. It is part of the Dear Jack.
Yes.
And so what exactly is going on here for people who've never attended one of these? This is the 7th one?
Yeah.
That's going on?
7th annual. Yeah. So what we do, I try and change the program kind of every year. So it's a show. It's a show like you might see of mine, depending on where I am in my career. It's been Jack's Mannequin shows. It's been just Andrew, just been me playing the piano. It's been Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness. Tonight we're doing something pretty unique, which is sort of all of my projects are going to take the stage tonight.
Exciting.
So you'll see all the guys from Something Corporate on stage at one point tonight, the Jack's Mannequin guys, the Wilderness, and we'll be playing songs from a catalog spanning like 16 years.
During the shows, you've also been very vocal about the importance that not just it is for people to donate money for further research, but the fact that people can also figure out if they can be a match to someone that's potentially in need of blood, of stem cells. So how impactful has that been, and how the fans reacted to that? Yeah,
they've been amazing. I think of all the things that I've been able to do sort of in the aftermath of being sick, as far as advocacy and awareness goes, promoting the bone marrow registry has been one of the most important things we've done, because we actually can see through action at a show how that plays out down the line, which we've signed up, I think, 6,000 people now over 2 years, and in those 2 years 60 plus have matched which means they sort of get the initial, like, you are a match for somebody in need of a transplant. And then what happens is you go through sort of a process where, you get checked out, or maybe they find another match and you're not the, you're not the primary match. But 16 have gone on that we know of so far to donate marrow.
They actually donated it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking about through 2 years of concerts, which you never, the joke of like, rock and roll saves or whatever. It's sort of this hysterical thing where there is this weird thing that's happening where literally we have, through these shows and through fans, just taking a couple minutes out of their day to stop by the booth, have potentially saved 16 lives and quite possibly many more that we'll find out about.
6,000 more that are on the
list, and just to know that my fans care enough to stop by and do that, and that it has resulted in such a potential win for, not just for the people who get the transplants, but for their families and for their friends and the people in their lives that get to see them still on this earth. It's really moving.
Bringing something special to the show, and that's through the is that through the Love Hope Strength Foundation? Will they be? I know you have a big tour coming up in support of the album, and it's gonna be, what is it, Zombies in America?
Zombies in America.
And is the LHS Foundation, are they out at all your shows with you? Can people stop by to leave a sample of their?
Absolutely, they should be at. I mean, we try and have them at every show. They'll be here tonight. Sometimes, occasionally, there's a conflict or something that doesn't work out, but they will be on the road with us, pretty much everywhere we go.
Cool, and that's where people will be able to drop off a swab.
Yeah, they have the kits right there, and what you do is you swab your cheek, and then that gets cataloged in the registry. And when people are looking, they look through the database, and if your markers show up as a match or close match, then you might get a phone call.
You've just announced the new album.
Yes,
Zombies on Broadway.
That's right.
First off, I love the title because I love zombies.
Thank you.
I'm okay with that. But obviously, reading through the track listing of it, it's a very New York-based album.
It is. Yeah.
So what was it about New York that this time was just so, let's do an album on it?
It's funny. It's something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. When I did the first Jack's Mannequin record, Everything in Transit, that was like my quintessential West Coast record. And the idea was actually that we would go to New York after that album and make a follow-up that would be sort of its East Coast counterpart. And obviously, for the reasons that we're talking about right now, that mission was derailed because I got sick. And it sort of got away from me. So I, with 2 feet on the ground, I figured I'd venture out to the city and try and write a record with the Big Apple as the backdrop.
What's the significance between Zombies on Broadway? Obviously, Broadway, New York.
It's a reference. It's actually it's a lyric pulled from a song that we just did not finish in time for the record. But what it is a reference to was sort of my walk to the studio during the day. I would take the train in from Brooklyn most days, and then I would get off early if I could, and just sort of, walk through Manhattan, and I sort of, once you get to that theater district where the studio is on 7th and 49, it becomes kind of this crazy tourist hell, and so the
zombies.
Yeah, so there would be sort of this witching hour at night leaving the studio where it sort of took on this whole other vibe where you're just trying to walk through the streets and get past people, and everybody's kind of stopped and taking pictures, and yeah, at some point that lyric kind of popped up and made its way into the fold.
Well, you have it's like a 2-month tour or something coming up.
Oh, so. Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do and a lot of cheeks to swab out there.
I was going to say a lot of cheeks to be swabbing out there.
That sounds a little peculiar, but yeah.
But that's awesome that you've been able to literally save lives with your music in multiple ways. And
not me personally, the amazing people who come to these shows, but I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Well, good job.
Yeah,
and now we're going to go enjoy a great night out here at the 7th official one, the 10-year anniversary of Dear Jack. So thanks for chatting, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're the one, you're the reason I'm still